support.
The maestro, please!
Summer is keeping it up, which means June is ending pretty strongly. This'll be for the week of
June 29th, 2024.
On this day in music back in 1846, the patent was filed for the saxophone by Adolphe Sax, its inventor. The patent had 14 different versions of the sax, split into two categories of 7 each, going from the smallest, the sopranino saxophone, to the largest, the contrabass saxophone. So we technically went over this already, but that was just part 1, basically an EP. Now the full thing is released, which essentially doubles the amount of covers that were on here. Album number 7 from violinist Lindsey Stirling. You know, her albums typically chart both on the classical and dance and electronic charts. For whatever reason, it only charted on the classical chart this time, given it's at number 1.
Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
You know, shout out to Tolvier, who's managed to keep 2 of her releases in the top 5 among the likes of Norah Jones, Nat King Cole, and Frank Sinatra.
Singing.
I love rock and roll!
For those of you who were concerned, don't worry, Noah Khan's Stick Season got back up to number 1.
It's bigger than hip-hop.
Hey, speak. These niggas ain't fucking with me. Niggas ain't on my level. Speak. These niggas ain't nothing to me. Niggas ain't even a...
Now, I would normally question Moneybagg Yo's decision to name his 5th album Speak Now, especially considering it shares a title with both an original and a re-recording of a very prolific Taylor Swift album. At the same time, though, I can't imagine there's too much overlap between Moneybagg Yo fans and Taylor Swift fans. Screamin' Ruby the Cherry back at it again with album number 4, New World Depression, following up 2022's Sing Me a Lullaby, My Sweet Temptation, continuing their reign as arguably the most popular underground rap act.
I do damage, and they can't stand it. Psycho, bandit, like it's Marilyn Manson.
Studio album number 4 from Don Tolliver, and despite that it's only 16 tracks, or 20 if you get the deluxe edition, it's actually in 4 or 5 different volumes. Volume A, Thunder Road, B, Dead Man's Canyon, C, Twin Peaks, and D, Promised Land. And if you get the deluxe edition, Volume E, Stonehenge.
Turn on the lights.
Interesting compilation album from Fred again. He originally released this back in 2022 and it's now recharting. He periodically makes updates to the compilation, adding new tracks. This most recent update includes his new singles, It's Not Real and Baron Gassaf Neighbors. You can also now get this on vinyl.
And now I need some help from the maestro, please!
They really do walk a fine line of what's considered underground rap, especially considering this is their 4th studio album to get into the top 10 of the Billboard 200, and actually their first now to get into the top 5.
I know that last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said.
Fun fact, on the last track of the album, Dying Man, Brian Sutton, who previously throughout the album played on acoustic guitar, ukulele, mandolin, banjo, and even a resonator guitar, plays a bouzouki, which is essentially a large Greek lute.
I do damage, and they can't stand it. Psycho, bandit, like it's Marilyn Manson.
Fun fact, the song Bandit you just heard might sound a little bit familiar, and that's because it samples One More Hour by Kevin Parker.
I could eat that girl for lunch as she dances on my tongue. Tastes like she might be the one.
I can only imagine that this would have gotten to number 1 and would have stayed at number 1 for quite a while if it wasn't for, you know, Taylor Swift's most recent album.
For a fortnight there we were together running to the sun.
The personnel list for this album is massive, mostly because of what is essentially an orchestra playing on Clara Bow, as well as more than half of the extra tracks on the anthology version. June ended up being a great month for music, mostly because of the transition from spring to summer and everybody wanting to get those summer songs out, so I can only imagine, or at least hope, that July's gonna keep this up.
And now I need some help from the maestro, please! Maestro!